Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, these are mods for Tuesday 23rd of September. Apologies for the delay. We've got two updates. The Mercedes-Benz MB Track Series by Brummie 456 and the Load King Flatbed Aluminium by SoSi-Modding. Now the Mercedes-Benz MB Track Series, we had previously on console the Lizard Track. This replaces that. Right in front of me, we've got the Albach Diamant 2000. This is 64.67 megabytes download, 27 slots. This is by Vectorman. We've had previous versions of this, but this is kind of the new updated whiz-bangy. The first few mods we're going to be looking at, we've got quite a few by Forst and Fahrzeugbau today as well. Some of them, I say, similar in their operation. So I'm going to get the forestry bits out of the way first. If you're not into forestry stuff, you might want to skip ahead, and that's absolutely fine. No problems whatsoever. So, to our wood chippers, just there. So there's our Albach Diamant 2000, 680 grand for the base model, which is, you know, it's up there. Hub colour, green or rim colour, it's up to you. Front panel, so you've got the new front panel or the old front panel. Now the rear panel is an interesting one. So this is the new version, and that's the old. I prefer the old, so I left it on the old version. Again, that's entirely up to you, but that's the new version. Additional screening basket puts that metal screen on the top there. I think that's just decoration. I couldn't find any option to add that in, but it puts a screening basket, yes or no. Decals, we got new or old. It's up to you. Exhaust pipe, small and big boy, large one. Beacon light, standard or LEDs. We've got interior setup, new. That's all in the cab. Or old. There you go. We've got rim colour. You choose. And license plate option as well. Straightforward. 768 horsepowers. So we jump in and start it up. There's a horn, lights, beacons. I went for the LEDs. Now we do have steering mode, so we've got all-wheel steer at the moment. We've got front-wheel steer. We've got rear-wheel steer. We've then got mode streets, which puts that one down at the front. See that came down at the front there? Then press it again. Crab steer, takes that back up. Slowly moves those tyres over. Crab steer left. Crab steer right. So we'll go right the way over now. There we go. We can drive at an angle. You can still turn like that, but yeah, crab steer. And then back to all-wheel steer again. There we go. Now, if we unfold this, like that, pipe out, like that. So if you've got a trailer, it does have a rear trailer hitch as well, so if you want to bring your own trailer, you can. At the end of the day, it's a wood chipper. The crane, I mean, the cranes are, again, standard now pretty much across the board. Unless they've got a tension strap on them, cranes are pretty much standard. What I do like about this, which I must say I was going to mention about the one we're going to look at in a moment, there's our crane operation, in, out, shake it all about, go side to side or up, out, down, L1, R1, open and close and rotate our crane head. So the cranes work as you would expect. Now we also have, once we've opened this up, L1, R1, change driving direction. So at the moment we're in our cab looking forward. We change our driving direction. It swings us around in the cab, so we're facing operations. So we go into that view now. Nice. What's the word I'm looking for? I mean the view. Yes, it's a nice view, but you've got a good angle on everything because there's not loads of pillars and stuff in the way. So anyway, words. Those are our camera angles, so we can see out there, and they can swing that back around at any time. Then we turn our wood chipper. We'll do that, and then it's just a case of using your crane, picking up a log, put it through the wood chipper. The wood chipper chips it, and it comes out of your pipe. If we change from crane option, we can go to pipe, which means we should be able to adjust our pipe like that. If you've got a trailer there, it will automatically find the trailer, but you can adjust it if you want to. Press it again, triangle, gives you a support leg. We've got for that, there you go, see the support leg there, up and down, put the support legs out, and raise it up a little, just to make it a bit more stable if you're operating and moving larger loggage. And that, in essence, is it. Turn it off, pop out, that's the diamond. Wow. So yeah, we've got a bit of wood chippery stuff going on today. That's our first one by Vectorman. Next we're going to look at this. I love the look of this truck anyway. It's because I like snow runner expeditions, that kind of thing. It's got that kind of vibe to it. So this is the Tatra Phoenix Crusher Pack by HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau, 47.55 megabytes download. 20 slots for the Frankenstein on the front, and then the trailer is 6 slots. The trailer does have... Did it have a rear trailer hitch? I'm trying to remember if it did or not. No, it didn't. But it does come with this pack. You know, there are plenty of trailers you can use, and they will attach on the back. This is very, very cool. So, again, under our wood chippers, and you'll see it there, 135 grand for the wood chipper. Now, does the same thing as that, to be fair, for a lot less money, if you think about it like that. If we click on there, so we have got reflective strips, yes or no. We've got Windows standard, tinted 1, 2, back to standard. Chainsaw holder, yes or no. I think I put one on this, pretty sure I did. Upper cabin colour, most of the rest of this is now colours. So we can change our upper cabin colour, lower cabin colour, let's go blue, just so you can see the colours on this. Cage colour, does the roll bars over the top, let's go with the yellow, like that. Seat colour, we can change our seats inside if we want to. Crane colour, we'll change the crane colour. It's pretty obvious now, isn't it? The claw, which at the moment is white, we can change the colour of that. The crusher colour itself is green, we can change the colour of that. Pipe colour, we can change the colour of that. You know. Teaching Granny to suck eggs. Tank colour, that's underneath. I left it pretty much standard, I think, for what we were doing. So you can change the tank colour. Then on the back, the chain that's holding the spare tyre on, I went for a light like that, and then depends if you've got the colour configuration. They went metallic, so it's more of a metallic sort of a chain, but again, that's entirely up to you. Rim colour option and licence plate option on there too. So come out of there, and we'll come to our trailers, and just there's the Frankenstein ASW. Now, capacities on this, standard 29,500 or unrealistic 295,000 litres. We've got transparent grid or grid at the front, so you can see what you're doing if you want to. Main colour, you can see the main colour is the main colour. Inside at the back here, you see all those bits that are blue, that's the rubber colour. I think I changed it to red. I'm not sure why I changed it, but no, I've just changed the wrong one. Rubber colour, let's go yellow. Anyway, so you can change those, as you can see. Main colour, the rubber colour, and then you've got rim colour and licence plate option on there too. Now, let's hop in this and start it up. Cool. Lights. And then we go for the lights for kind of operation, really. Lights everything up around us. Beacons. Very nice. This doesn't have an option for any other steering, although you've got the rear steer axle. It's just an absolute beast of a thing. It's very, very cool. I love it. And we've got multiple winches on this as well, which I think is a cracking feature. Turn those off. So pipe out does that. If you've got the trailer attached on the back, it will automatically go to it. Then you've also got a pipe option for adjusting the pipe if you want to. But that will automatically go to our trailer. Cool. If we unfold the truck, puts our support legs down, unfolds this. Now what I was going to say was, I'm not a big fan of the wood chippers when the belt's not very long. What I'd like to see is one with a belt that opens like that but then unfolds again, so you've got a longer belt, so you can put larger logs on it and it will feed in easier, because that's so short. Yes, you can manipulate it with the crane and that kind of thing, but it doesn't lend itself to being able to put a log on there. When the log's feeding, you can then move the crane and get another log to bring it in to sort of carry on. It's a very much, you do one log, then you've got to go and get another one, then you do that log, then you go and get, I prefer it. Whereas that one, the Diamant, has had a much longer, not hugely long, but it had a longer bed on it. So I think one that would unfold, I think would be even better. Anyway, that's just my 2 penneth. Winch on the front, there we go. Now that can be if you're on steep slopes, you can attach that to a tree up a hill and keep this in position, or if you just want to winch stuff with it, you can. It's also got a side winch on here as well, which I think is great, because this is where this is now, cranes outside of here as well. So you can grab your side winch, you can grab a tree, bring the tree right up close to where the crane operation is and where our wood chipper is. Put that back again. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Now, as you can see, once we've opened this up, if I go inside camera angle, that's already moved me to the back of the cab. See, I'm sitting there in the back there. I was in the front for driving. Once I fold this back up again, it puts me back in the driving seat. But again, that's pretty cool. I like that as an option. And there's our camera angles for that as well. And then our crane operates again as you would expect, up and down, in and out, rotate of the head, open and close of the head. Again, I don't think we've got an option for... We don't have a tension straps. Turn on or off truck, that's for the wood chipper. It sits quite high off the ground, as you can see, so you're going to need a crane. You don't necessarily need to have a crane. So we're on crane operation now. Press triangle again, support leg, so we can adjust. As you can see, we can raise and lower our support legs depending on what ground you're on. Press triangle again, we go to pipe. So like I said, you have got manual adjustment on the pipe, but because the trailer's there, it's not allowing me to move it because it's fixed on that automatically as it goes. And then, you know, I didn't show you on the other one, but and then wood chip ways your heart's content. But like I said, I like the look of it. And when you consider the price difference between the two, and if logging's not your thing, forestry's not your thing, that's absolutely fine. So there we go. That's the Tatra Phoenix Crusher Pack. Next we have got just here. This is the Befa, B-E-F-A, Shortwood Swap Body Pack by HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau. 30.78 megabytes download, 16 slots. There are 3 of these. I've got this one out because I haven't really encountered this version before. This is designed to work with the Volvo, and it does say with the 4 axle, so 3 at the back, you know, because it's long enough for this to fit on. It can attach to other vehicles, but you know, you can have a fiddle around and try that, and I'll show you why. Because once you've attached it, you have then got the option for adjustment of it front to back and up and down, so you can get it in the perfect position. Now, again, once this is unfolded, it works just like that crane, just like that crane. It's the crane. You've got a seating position on there as well, which I'll show you in just a moment. Tension and straps on the actual log back, and you know, it's a swap body. That's what it's designed to do. If we come to forestry again, and we want our wood transport, that's where you find them. So you've got Shortwood with master driver seat. So that's got a kind of little covered seat that unfolds on the top. We've seen those before, and the final one there is with the EPS cabin. So you've got a cab section completely closed in from the environment. Again, that's more common. This one with the high seat, it's not closed in, it's literally just a seat that unfolds, and it does sit a little bit higher than the other one. So I went with that as an option. All the other options are the same on them. So we've got design 1 and design 2 for our supports. Our stanchions, we've got chainsaw holder, yes or no. Main colour, you can see what's the main colour, but we can change that to that. Crane colour changes the crane, claw colour does the claw, and we can change our seat colour as well if we want to. So, as you can see, here's our lorry. So that, once we attach it, I've got L1, right stick side to side, so I've got my adjustment. So if you are putting it onto another vehicle, you have got a bit of adjustment as to where it will sit. Then R1 and right stick up and down, and then you can adjust where it sits on that vehicle. So, you know, once you're happy with it, that's absolutely fine. Press triangle again, and then go to there. So, body position 1, refill pallet. Why is that so? Oh, that's from something. That's weird how previous one's done it. Tension straps, as you can see. Now, what we need to do is unfold crane, which will do that, that and that. Support legs go out. Once those are out, then you move on to your crane options, your support leg options. That will do all that. And then what you do is you come to the back here, then enter vehicle driver, and that puts you in the seat at the back there. And what I like with this is, that's one camera angle, that's another. This one I like that as a camera angle for operation. That really put, I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, that puts you in the driving seat, but I like that as an angle. Then you got a little bit further away, and then back to that one again, which you've got a bit more manipulation of. These ones are fixed. I can't now move my camera once I'm in that position. Those are fixed. I can move the crane, but I can't move the camera. That one, obviously, I've got a movement of my camera. And everything else operates as you would expect the crane to do, like we've seen already. In, out, rotate, open and close the grab. That's what it does. Fold that back away. I'll hop down off of there. That's doing that. Awesome stuff. So the last of the forestry bits we're going to look at. It's weird to have all these in one go, really. We've got this. So this is the Palfinger Universal L Crane Pack by HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau. 15.34 megabytes download and 12 slots each. So this is designed to go on now. It does say again by the Volvo FH16, but just to prove the point, you can attach it to anything. Now, what I would say as well, if you've got the Volvos or any of those, if you've got the fairings and the aero parts, because that crane sits quite low, that will cut through the fairings and aero parts if you've got them on the top. So you want to try and go for a sort of lower cab version of whatever you're going to be doing, but I just wanted to show you this doing its thing. This you'll find under, was that the miscellaneous? There we go. So there's our Palfinger with seat, Palfinger with cabin. They're exactly the same. One's got a seat, one's got a cabin. I mean, that in essence is the difference. Long wood support, yes or no. So that allows trees to rest against that if you wanted to. Backlights, yes or no. That puts lights around the headache rack. Crane animation, support only or complete. I went complete. Chainsaw holder, yes or no. Protection, frame colour, you can see what that is. We changed that. That's that headache rack. Crane colour, claw colour, and seat colour. Now, what I didn't show you on this one was, where did I put it? There we go. On this one, there's our chainsaw. I put one on there. So if I take the chainsaw, there's our chainsaw holder on that one. Put that back. And then this one, I think we had an option, but I don't think I went for it. Oh no, I did. There we go. I did put a chainsaw on there. There you go. Chainsaw option. And this one has one as well. I don't think I went for that as an option when I picked it. Oh no, I did. There we go. Up there. There's our chain. Just saying that. There's our chainsaw holder option on there. So what we'll do, we back this up. It gives us the option to attach it, and away we go. So when it does that, same thing with the other one. We have now got the option R1 and right stick side to. No, that's up and down. That's up and down. Sorry. R1 and right stick up and down. L1 and right stick side to side. So I can adjust that exactly where I want it. If I'm happy with that, then bring it down a bit, maybe just sit it just like that. And there's our crane attached. So then we unfold the crane. It'll do the same thing, support legs, but it just gives you various different options. And these are all separate mods. They just all happen to come out on the same day. So I went for the cab one on that. So we can see various different options within all the various different mods today. So if I do that, there's our cab. There's our crane. There's in the crane. Again, camera can't move in that position, but I've got my movement, my up and down, all the rest of it. Press it again. That puts it out there. And then we're back to this. Now, what I wasn't sure about, and which I need to try, will it allow me to do that? Oh, that's curious. So it puts me back in the cab no matter what I do. So even though I can change the camera angle, it doesn't show me up in there. There's not even an option for change driving position. No. Anyway, I mean, that's in essence, that's what it does. That's the position you get. And then the crane does the crane thing. Quite an extension on this one as well. Support legs, crane open and close, rotate of the crane head, you know, as all the other. That's what I said. They're all, you know, once you've done one, they're all pretty much the same. Then we should have the option for crane, support leg. Where's our support leg option? There we go. Woo. Extend them out like that. For more support. I might have missed that. Was that an option on one of these as well? Did that give us an option for making those wider potentially? It's just fiddling around with the different controls. And there you go. That's pretty much all the login stuff. So that's the Palfinger Universal L Crane Pack. That's all of those. Yes, pretty sure. Next. Got to speed up now. That took way longer than it needed to. That's the next. We've got the Alpego Jet X pack by SimulatorGAMES and PipicH. 9.94 megabytes download. This is a cedar, 4 slots, 4 meters wide. Or you can just get the RK400, which is 1 slot 4 meter wide. It's because this is a cedar with a power harrow on the front of it. So you can buy the power harrow separately, and when you buy the whole thing together, you can actually detach them so you can run the power harrow separately if you want to. Nicely made and detailed, as you can see. Good looking bit of kit. Our cedars, that's where you'll find the main unit, 43 grand, just like that. No options, 1,000 litre tank for seed, no fertiliser option. That gives you both of those elements, 195 horsepower required. Now if we come up there to our power harrows, you will see there's the RK400 on its own. So that's the power harrow unit, which you can just buy like that with the ridge markers on. Again, no options on that, 160 horsepower required, 18 grand. Now, we can open and close our cover, which does that and that. We have got our option for our ridge markers, left marker, right marker, markers off. With GPS and stuff now, would you need to use them? If you want to go old school, you can, but that's entirely up to you. There's no option for turning those on or off, like not having them. They're on there, you get them as they are. If I lower the whole rig down like that, and then we detach. There you go. So that detaches the seed rig from the back. So if you bought it as the whole bulk thing, that then leaves you with just the power harrow section. So you can go off and do your power harrowing if you want to. This is not a direct drill. You will need to have cultivated and stuff first. I mean, usually that's the thing. This is the weird thing with some of these. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Because it's got a power harrow on the front, technically it is a direct drill, but then it doesn't always work. Let's just see what happens here. Turn it on. We are dropped down. Yes, it's not doing it. It's not cutting through the weeds. Which I've never understood with these rigs. It makes no sense to me. Surely it is a direct drill. And this is what I mean. And I know I had people messaging me before saying, oh, it's because of this, that and the other. That is a power harrow. A power harrow cultivates. If I've got that on the front, I am cultivating first. Therefore, I'm getting rid of all the mulch and weeds and bits and bobs, and then the seed unit is behind it. So this should be a direct drill, but it's not. And these types of rigs have always been the same. I've never really understood why that's the case. Then why are you bothering? Because I'm running a power harrow that's not actually doing anything. And you'll see what I mean. And this is what's curious. If I turn it off now, detach the seed unit. Sorry, let's turn it on. Lower the seed unit, do that, then we'll detach that, then we'll turn this on. So this is our power harrow. Right, look, I'm power harrowing, because that's what a power harrow does. It cultivates. So why, when this is attached to a seed unit, does it not do that? This should be a direct drill. Anyway, rant over. That's the Alpego Jet X pack. Next we've got over here somewhere. We've got the Bergmann HTW 45 by Großflächendesign Simon. This is 20.93 megabytes download, 9 slots. It's a forage wagon and it's just over here. The reason I got this out, normally I would probably just show you this because it's a trailer. I'll show you in the menu, was because sometimes you get an option of these with a door on the side and it's just for show. This one, the door does actually open, which I thought was quite a cool little feature. I thought, you know what, let's show that off in all its glory. So let's go back up to our trailers and we want that one just there. There you go. It has a HTW 45. So 45,000 litres. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Vredestein, back again. Vredestein's got the most tire options, standard, standard 2, wide and wide 2. We've got the HTW 45, then the HTW 45S. The only difference I could tell, if you look towards the front of the unit, if I change that over, was it here or was it around the other side? It added something, or was it around the back? Oh, it might have been this way around. Let's do that. You see that thing that's being added on where it says the back Bergmann sign, just to the left of that back Bergmann sign, but it's only on one side as well. That's the only thing I could see that changed. Anyway, side door, yes or no. Design old or new. Cover, yes or no. Main colour changes the panels, so if you want to change the panel inserts, you can, with a license plate option on there as well. So, if we go L1 and right stick up and down, that does the front section there. See that opening and closing. So if you're doing forage work and you're blowing into that with a forage wagon, it just helps. It can blow straight into there if you want to. Then L1, R1 and right stick side to side closes the door, puts the ladder up. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like an inspection hatch, getting in it for cleaning it out, that kind of stuff. But I thought it was quite cool that it had that as an option on there as well. Very nice indeed. Then unload. There's no grain door. It's unload. Close that bit down again. And what I'm going to do is turn. It's not a beacon. What is that on the side that it added? Is it a sensor? Is it like a bolt? Oh, I don't know. It's very weird. Anyway, that's what changed. So there you have it. That's the Bergmann HTW 45. Next, what the Calf Hut pack. This is 12.11 megabytes download. This is. We've got 8 slots and 7 slots by IrrSinn. We have got one that does 5, one that does 7, one that does singles. We've got left and right, so as you can see you've got the feed trough this side with buckets that side, or you can have it with the feed trough that side and the buckets will stay where they are. So in each of these you've got a left and a right version. If we go into here, come down to our animals and our cows, you'll see each one. There you go. So you've got Calf Hut small for 5, left or right. Calf Hut sort of larger, I suppose, that will do 7 left and right, and then the single left and right. There's no customization options on these. It does say you will get manure, and there's a manure point for collection. You can't see, we can hide the buckets. If you want to hide the buckets like that, folds that back up and out of the way, which does that. Our dialogue box at the front, or to the side, so I'm looking at front, but to the side just there for our calves. Now, the smaller ones are in there. The nav meshes, I don't know if they could do with being a little bit tighter. Again, I'm just, you know, I know it seems really picky, and it depends how you feel about things visually. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest, but I know, you know, some people might be a little bit. So we've got our, I don't know why it keeps doing that. That's to do with the pallet I put out earlier. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, so our feed trough is just to the side. So it does say there's a manure point. So that's the 5. The 7's got a cool thing on the back here. If we come around to there, it says close air vent, so you can open and close those air vents on the side. I suppose because it's a little bit deeper, just allows the air to circulate. And then we've got the same thing again here. You can hide the buckets if you want to. Now there wasn't any option for opening this. You can open the side. There's a little side door, but I mean you can't open the whole igloo. So I'm not sure where the manure point is on it. I haven't put any feed or bedding in these yet. So I put small calves, really small calves in these two. This one I put a slightly larger one in because it was on its own. But that being said, it was right out the back here. So I think it's probably designed for the smaller ones. And when they get to that size, you probably want to move them out. But again, so that's the single one. And then you can place those out where you want. So if you want to run calves, you can run calves, then have those alongside your main pen, and kind of go for a bit more realistic feel for it. Like it. That's the calf hut pack. Next we've got just here, actually we've got 2 buildings from different modders. We've got the Country Brick House by Raider, 11.12 megabytes download, 10 slots, 45,000 to buy. And we've got the Polish House, 22.74 megabytes download, 22 slots and 25,000 to buy by Mr. Grucha. So this first one here is the Country Brick House. There's no wardrobe trigger on this one. It comes as it is, no customization options, nicely made and detailed. So sleep trigger at the front there. You can't go inside the building. Little aircon unit running, which I think is quite cool. Nice little feature. That's the first of them. We'll have a look at them in just a moment. And then if we come just over here, that's the Polish House. Sleep and wardrobe trigger at the front. Again, you can't go inside the building. Nice bit of detail on this one as well. Cheaper option with a sort of balcony area type thing out the back on that. These you'll both find under build mode and farmhouses. We'll have a quick look just so you can, just so you can see. So I can say, look, there they are. There you go. There's that one. There's that one. 45 grand, 25 grand respectively. No customization options on those. Come out of there, and next over we've got these also by HR Forst und Fahrzeugbau. We've got the Floodlights pack just here. 2.19 megabytes download, 3 slots each, build mode and our lights is where you find them. Prices on these 1,200 or 1,800 for the small, or sort of medium and large floodlight pole. These come on at night, they don't have a light switch on them. You can see the size of them, but the lighting goes right the way around, so these will illuminate quite a wide area. Straightforward. There you go, the Floodlights pack. Next we've got this. This is the High Quality Grain Factory. Now this, again, it depends how much you deep dive into your mods when you're deciding whether you're going to use them or not. If you use it at face value, that's fine, but there's obviously some things you could question on this. And I have to play devil's advocate. So this is by CapAro, 6 megabyte download, 14 slots, 280,000 to buy. This will take your standard grains and it makes them higher quality. I don't know how it does, but it makes them higher quality. So if we come into build mode and we go to our factory section, that's where you'll find the factory just there for 280 grand. No customization options, it comes as it is. There's no separate sell point for these. When we come back out of there and go into this menu, you'll see under our prices, if we come down, if you're making high quality stuff, under H, there you go. Your high quality barley, canola, corn, oat, sorghum, soybean, sunflower and wheat. And you look at the price and think, well, hello, that's not bad. Look at that. 3,000 over for your sunflower, soybean, 5 grand. Wow. You have to take into the consideration now. Again, it depends how you want to deep dive. The factory costs 280 grand. So if you're trying to recover that money, there's that element to it. Again, if you're not bothered about that, that's not a problem. The prices look pretty good, but we've got to compare that to the standard prices. So let's say, for example, let's take the barley, just barley first. You know, there are all other ones as well. So the barley at the moment on this, and again, this depends on your economic level. Are you playing easy, normal, or hard mode? Easy mode, you're going to be earning a lot more, so it may be worth it. It depends. So 1,400, let's say, roughly 1,400 and a bit, I'm getting for the high quality barley. We come up to our barley. Standard price at the moment, again, it will fluctuate, is about 600. That one that says free bulk fill station, that's raised all the time. I'm not sure why. So we'll say about 600. So 600 compared to 1,400. So it's over double. That's pretty cool. A little bit over double, not huge over double. And here's where we have our potential issue with it. Putting in is done here, managed production is done here. So if we come to there, you'll see all your things. So we're making high quality various different things. It will hold 120,000 litres of each thing coming in. But if we look at the recipes, 6,000 cycles a month, I've already got 134 litres of high quality soybean that I put in here. But the recipe is 2 to 1. So you're losing half of your crop to make it high quality. So the question you've got to ask yourself then is, depending on the prices, if I'm losing half my crop, and then you look at the price and say, well, the price at the moment is about double, maybe a little bit over. I think it works out, it's about 200 more than, you know, so if you work out your crop, what you're losing, if you left your crop as it was and sold it, you'd get X amount. By doing this, you'll get about 200 more than that standard price. So you've got to ask yourself, is it worth doing? If you want a different product to run, fine. If the price is worth substantially more, and I'm not saying stupidly more, but, you know, you're making high quality product. If you were earning $1,000 more, you know, so even though you're losing half your crop, you're still gaining about, you know, a substantial amount more on selling it, fine. But the margins are so small. I don't know, I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's up to you what you want to do, but that's what it does. Those are the recipes, that's how it runs. You decide. Next we've got, yes, this was a curiosity. We've got the Lizard Easyscrape Yard Scraper by RossN mods. 3.02 megabyte download, under miscellaneous, 2 slots, 2 meters wide. Now back in the day, on the previous versions of the game, where your animals left feed residue and you had to go and clean your feed areas up every day, this would have been perfect. But on FS25 that doesn't happen. Now there might be PC mods for it, there may be things that allow for that, and that's fine. If you spilt something on the floor, then fine, this will work for that, because that's what it's designed to do. However, there's an issue, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. And you know, if you're going for ultra realism, yeah, a yard scraper, especially if you're cleaning like slurry down into the slurry slats and that kind of stuff, that's what this sort of thing is designed to do. But again, especially in the base game, there's not really anything for that, for this to operate with. So it is a bit of a curiosity, and it wouldn't be so bad. And I'd hate to say this, I've met RossN mods, like RossN mods a lot, like his mods. It doesn't seem to work. So you've got option for attachment of tractor triangle or 3-point link. No options other than that. 25 horsepower required. Nice. Now it does say in the description about cleaning animal feed areas and stuff, but it will also do bulk spills as well. So I thought what I'd do, and I tried it out already, I put some grain down, some oat. So I'm feeding my horses, I've spilt a load of oats on the floor, it'll work for that. It's a scraper, that's what it's designed for. So when you put it down, it will pick the crop up. When you lift it up, it will then release that crop, so you can pick your stuff up, take it to wherever you need to unload it to, and you can unload it. So at the moment, nothing. If I put it down, see there, it picks up. Awesome stuff. But the thing is, it should be that no matter what happens now, as I'm picking that crop up, it will stay in there. When I raise this up, it should then release that crop, but it doesn't. What it does is, any slight movement off of the flat plane, let's be honest, how many maps and bits of land have we got which are, I mean, like billiard table flat? So it's picking it all up, and that's great. That's absolutely fine. Look, you can see my amount's going up. If I then go over a bump, as I drive away now, I want to keep that down, because if I lift that, it's going to drop this out. If I go over a bump or anything, it pours out. You watch as we go up this bit here. Look, that's already lost some. It's already losing more. It's losing a bit more. Any little bump in the ground that doesn't keep that, there you go, I've lost some more. There you go. It doesn't. Now I haven't lifted that. It has lifted off the ground, but I haven't lifted it. So the problem is, unless your ground is absolutely, like I say, billiard table flat, any difference in ground elevation, if that lifts off the floor even slightly, whatever you've got in it comes out. And like I say, I hate to say it because, you know, in essence, yeah, it's a good idea. It's a cool little bit of kit. And I think if the game allowed for, you know, if you had to actually muck out your animals and stuff, I think it'd be way better. But we lost that ability to do that, and I love that about the game. So anyway, that's that. That's the Lizard Easyscrape Yard Scraper. Next, we've got the Lizard Unifier LF8 6 by SoSi-Modding. This is 22.94 megabytes download and 10 slots. If you want to, you know, add a bit more immersion, run a fire section, run a fire station, you can. This does hold 600 litres of water, so if you want to transport some water around, I thought it reminded me of very much. You know, again, this is old school. Trumpton. Does anyone remember Trumpton? It's a UK thing, probably. Hugh, Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, and Grubb, the fire crew. It's got a very cartoony. I think because the wheels are quite small for the wheel arches. And that's not in a bad way. I think it looks quite cool, but it is just not a decorative item. Of course, it's not a decorative item. But if we're trying to add some immersion to your game, that's absolutely, you know, no problem whatsoever. We come across to our vehicles and then miscellaneous where you find it. 75 grand just there. Like I say, it's got a 600 litre tank, 180 horsepower. Work light, yes or no, puts work lights on the side of the vehicle at the back. Beacon lights, you've got rotating beacons, or you've got xenon, and the xenons are massive on there. You can go for those if you want to. Main colour and rim colour we can change, and license plate option on there as well. So let's jump in. Start up. There's our horn. There's our beacons. Got a flasher unit on the front there. Beacon on the back. We haven't got doors or windows that open, but we do have, it says activate rear warning system. So if you're stopped and you're having to deal with something, we can put that on, which does that. So that's our rear warning system. We haven't got any side panels that open or anything like that, but under there, L1, where it says open cover your ears if you've got headphones on. The old blues and twos. And I've already put some water in it, so 600 litres. You can transport, you know, there's not a hose or anything like that on it. If we put our lighting on like that, so if you've gone for the side lighting, got the side light on either side. I say it's a cool unit. It's a nice bit of kit, bit of cab movement, bit of rock on it, bit of suspension movement. And all the sounds, you know, like I say, I don't know, it's probably more me than anything else. It just, because I looked at the size of the wheels and my brain immediately went to that kind of old school, cartoony Trumpton type thing. Anyway, there you go. That is the Lizard Unifier LF8 6. Next we have got, just here behind us, this is the Sheepfold. 21.33 megabytes download by Fra-Cassés Modding. 21 slots will hold 68 plus, because you can customise the pen size if you want to. You can make that much larger. At the moment I think it's sitting on 68 or 69, but you can customise that. This also has bale and pallet storage, 250 items inside, so we go inside the building. It's quite a big building as well. I'm not sure if the scale's off. It just seems, maybe not. It just seems very, very high, the windows. Anyway, doors open. Bit of a creak. Probably need a bit of oil and grease and stuff on there. Bale and pallet storage, as you can see, I've got a wall pallet and we've got some hay bales here. So 250 items. Putting in is done there, then the taking out, you can come over here and you can open your storage dialogue. We've got goats and sheep in here at the moment. If we come through, feed area just here, pallets will spawn just there. And over here we've got this. It's curious because these are running, I think, all the time. Oh no, they've stopped. Right, so if we come over to here, there's a button that says Goat Brush. Goat Brush City Limits. There you go, so the goat brushes start to rotate. There's one here and one down the other end. Now I say goat brush, it is a sheepfold, but it seems to be kind of geared more for goats. We've got our animal dialogue box just there. We come around the back here. We've got this. So it's not just that. On the back of this, we've got here like mini dairy. So we can do butter from goat milk bottled, and goat cheese. So sort of a bit of a goat thing going on there. So it's a production as well as an animal pen, as well as a bale and pallet storage. Stuff gets bought in, pallets will spawn there. Yeah, I think that's quite cool. Was there a slurry point actually? I'm just looking. I don't think there was bedding, so I don't think you'll get slurry or manure from this one. We'll double check though. Doesn't hurt, does it? To have a look. Let's go to Sheepfold. No. Wool, goat milk, productivity, yeah. And then, yeah, you've got your production side of it to run like that. Build mode, down to animal pens, across to our sheep. That's where you'll find it. And like I say, once you place it, you have got the option to extend that pasture to make it as big as you want. Have a fiddle around wherever you want. There wasn't a customization option on the actual building itself, though. It came standard. There you go. That's the Sheepfold. Next, we've got the Southern Brazilian Shed just here. This is 4.72 megabytes download, 5 slots, 20,000 to buy. Customization option, you'll see there's a few options by Gian FS. Build mode and sheds. We want this one just there. So our customization options on this, you'll see we've got that kind of plaster look, and we've got this covered area or overhang. If we go to customization, so you've got that design 1, then you can put supports on the overhang. Design 2 does brickwork, then overhang. Then design 3 is more of a kind of concrete, rather than plaster work. It's more of a raw concrete with the supports on the side. And then we come back to design 1 again. Color option, so we can change the color of the, well, everything at the moment that's green. Let's go blue, there you go. And that should as well, if I go for design 2, it does the support legs as well in the blue. We've got little fans that are running. I think they're running on the top. Let's double check that. I think they were moving, weren't they? Yep. They're moving on the top. Allow for air circulation in there. This opens there. That's a covered area. Light switch just here. Now, did that do the exterior one? Yeah, those are on as well, aren't they? I think so. Yeah. And there you go. It's not a silo, just a shed. I say just a shed with those options on it. That's the Southern Brazilian Shed. Next, up on the hill, we've got these. This is the Sow Hut by Brummie Farmer, 12.54 megabytes download, 14 slots, 30,000 will hold 100. This also comes with 2 manure heaps. Both are 2 slots. One is 2 million litres, one is 1.5 million litres. Nicely made in detail with some, you can see where everything goes. This will allow for manure as well, being that they're pigs. So you've got a feed point just goes there. Straw point goes there. Gate does open. Now there's a load of information on the description of this to do with the calf igloos, the pig huts. In the construction of these, that they're made with like a polymer plastic type thing. They don't have ridges, areas where food can get stuck. There's a whole load of thing about the actual how these work and what they're designed to do. But in essence, if you just want the animal thing itself, there's our dialogue box for our potential 100. I have put in around the back. I suppose we should close that gate. Triggers at the end of the gate. There we go. If we come around the back here, there's one of the manure heaps placed. So when you go into the details. Now I have put this out here, again we have this with sheds sometimes, there's our slurry point at the end. So again this is with sheds, buildings, anything like that. If I go to place this now, let's come down to our animals and we go across to our pigs. There's our sow hut. Now if I go to place this on here, it's saying look, overlaps with another object. So it won't allow me to place it because things have been placed down before, it overlaps. If I override that and press triangle, which will allow me to place it for 30 grand, it doesn't put the flooring in, and I'll show you what I mean. So if I do that now, there's no flooring, there's no decoration. I'd have to add the decoration in myself. If I place it in an area like up on here, where it allowed me to place it because there was nothing previously there, nothing blocking it, that's when you get the textures in of the kind of concretey gravel on the outside and the mud on the inside. So if you've gone to place it and you're wondering why you haven't got this in, it might be because you've overridden it, or you might have to just add those textures in afterwards. That's entirely up to you. But that's where you'll find that. And then if we come up to here and go to our silos, the 2 silos just there, 12 grand for the 2 million litre, and then we've got 8 grand for the 1.5 million litre. And you place that close to it and you'll get your manure coming out, no problem at all. I'm assuming the lighting is automatic. I haven't found a light switch in any of the corners, so I am making a sweeping statement, and those come on automatically at night. There you go. That's the Sow Hut, which brings on to the last of the mods, and it's these. And it's the transport boxes for vegetables by IrrSinn Rainer, 1.2 megabytes download and 3 slots for the first one of these. These you'll find if we come down to our pallets. So just there, and go to there. There's our transport box. It will do potatoes, carrot, red beet or parsnip. Doesn't do sugar beet or anything like that. Click on that. You've got a wireframe version or a wooden planks version. And on either of those versions, whichever you've gone for, you can change the main colour like that, which will do all of those sections. 2,000 litres. You will need to use forks and stuff. These aren't liftable by hand on the ground empty, so you will need to pick them up and move them around. And then you fill them up with whatever you want to fill them up with. And then you can then tip them, empty them out, whatever you want to do, or just use them for storage, or, yeah, again, whatever. It's a transport box, that's what it's designed for. 2,000 litres in each. And that's it. There was no maps, and like I said, I'm behind. I know I'm behind, and do apologise. I don't know if there's going to be mods today, potentially. I know, so you know, we've got a rolling system going on at the moment. I hope you found all of this useful and informative in some way, shape, or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.